Welcome everybody to Comedy on Tap. I'm your host Mark Bonto for another exciting and hilarious time today. We've got a very, very funny guest today. She hails from, I think, Farmington Hills, Michigan.
It's true.
Wow. How did I know that? And she is very, very funny because she's done many of my shows. And so let's all welcome her out there in TV land and out here in the studio to the show, Teena Green with 2 E's. Teena, how are you?
I'm just delighted to be here.
Are you really?
I am.
Teena is with 2 E's though.
It's phonetically correct.
It is.
It is.
It's not with an I, it's Teena. And then Green is phonetically correct as well.
It's a lot of E's.
There's a lot of E's in your name.
It's a lot of E's.
It's good for the stage though. People remember you.
I should hope that they remember me, not just for my name, but for my humor. But
right.
Yeah.
Well, and your humor is very good because you, like I said, I know you. You've done one of my shows before. How long have you been doing comedy?
Just over 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just over 2 years.
And you enjoy it, do you?
I do enjoy it. It keeps me busy. I have always done humor, even if it was inappropriate at times in my life. Here's the thing: I do humor on the stage because my kids are tired of me doing it at home. How about that?
That's right.
That's what it is.
Mom, not at home. Go somewhere else and do it.
Yeah, you think you're funny, but you're not, Mom. That's what it is.
So have were you ever, I mean, did you grow up funny? Were you ever a funny person growing up? Did you think about this comedy thing? I mean, how were you as a growing? I mean, did you like comedy?
Yeah, I grew up. I would sneak downstairs and watch SNL.
Really?
Yeah, my parents would go to bed and I would sneak back downstairs and watch SNL. And my mom and dad, were funny. They were jokesters and that kind of thing. And I was a very shy child, awkward kid that hasn't changed any at all. Not at all.
Right.
I'm still very awkward and somewhat shy. But and I would do weird things in high school. I would dance on the desk one time in high school and fell off and thought I broke my hip. And just
to make people laugh.
I don't know why. I just would do dumb things. And so I was very interested in comedy, and I did want to be a comedy writer and run off and join SNL in high school. Didn't we all? We did. And I also, I liked the Muppet Show and things like that. These different comedies.
Right.
But that's not what I did. But I ended up, I became an RN. But it was the humor in nursing that because there is.
It's helpful. You make the patients laugh. You make everybody laugh. It's helpful, and there's a lot of comedy.
That's what I did. You would be in a really tough situation in the ER, and then you would have to learn how to deflect that with with humor. So it did help. All of these life lessons that you have help with humor. So yeah, that's what I did. So it all helps. And my kids don't think I'm funny, but
They probably do.
They probably do.
Yeah. Even though you were telling me that they just said, "Mom, get out of the house, do comedy somewhere else."
Just go.
Just go.
You're not funny, Mom. Just go. But yeah.
So how did you get into stand-up comedy? I mean, 2 years you've been doing it. How did you get into it to begin with?
Well, I had taken classes at Second City, Detroit years ago, and really enjoyed it. But then I went back and got my bachelor's degree, and then I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2010. I'm a survivor. But after that, I realized, life is too short and you need to do, what you want to do. And that's when I decided, I'm going to go try stand-up because it's something that I always wanted to do. And I took a class at Mark Ridley's. And
that was the first time you ever?
That's the first time, yeah, because I had really bad stage fright, which had prevented me from doing it before. And once I did it, I was hooked, and that's why I'm finally here today. Yeah, so there you go.
There's an easy story.
That's an easy story.
We can follow that.
Yeah.
How did you do at Ridley's? I mean, you skipped a whole bunch in there. So you go to Ridley's, you're nervous. How did you prepare for that set? What did happen?
You know what? I'm not really sure. It was horrifying. It was really horrifying.
Right.
I did. Bill Bouchard taught the class at Mark Ridley's, and I took that, and just kept going up on stage and working through the stage fright, and just keep going up. Just have to keep going up on stage. that's all you can do is just keep going up and keep going up
Right.
and keep going up. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, once you do it, you get hooked. Even you just have to push past that fear.
Right.
You know.
So there's the final class at the end of the class,
Right.
and you do your full stand-up set there.
Yep.
And how did yours go?
I think I did well. It's all kind of a blur to me. It's kind of, it's. I think I did well. I don't know that I actually invited anybody because I was sure that I was going to fail and die on stage, literally die, like not figuratively, but literally like have a heart attack on the stage and die.
Right.
But I think I did. I think I did okay. I don't know. You'd have to ask somebody who was there. I think I did okay.
Yeah.
The building didn't burn down. I didn't. My heart didn't explode out of my chest like I thought it was going to. I did okay.
Yeah.
I did okay.
So from there, you started performing at all these little places. Tell us what happened there.
So then I started going to to the open mics and going from there and just perfecting it and getting your act and building it up and that's what you do. You just get your act and getting more and more material and getting more and more comfortable on stage and meeting more and more comedians, which is good, like yourself,
Right.
and just and it's been a really good 2 years because
Right.
I've been very lucky and very blessed to have met the people that I've met and have things fall into your lap and I was just in Traverse City last weekend and part of that. So it's just keep building it in longer and longer sets. So I've gone from 5 minutes, which was excruciating to do, to now 15-20 minutes,
Right.
which now you can do,
Right.
which is
Well, you've done 4 or so of my room. I have 6 rooms. You did you've done 4 or 5 of them. And with each time you're doing them, you can tell that you're growing.
Right.
And you're better and better, and your sets are getting longer. And you're talking. You talk about family, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talk about my family, my kids, because that's where the humor is for me. I don't do anything political on stage right now because I think everyone's tired of hearing that. I certainly am a news buff, but for me personally, it's all about my family, my kids. That's what I identify with because there's so much humor there. Even if you don't have kids, you were a kid once, and you know what it's like to have an insane mom and a dad, and and this sort of thing. So yeah, that's what I talk about. I talk about my family, my kids, and I talk a little bit sometimes about my parents, my dad a little bit, and that situation. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to just draw from what you know, write what you know, and that's what I know. So
Well, the last time you did one of my rooms, you killed it. I think. Well, you do every time, but last time you just killed it. People are, just laughing. You can just look at the crowd. People just laughing, and Teena's just up there doing her thing, just being funny, and you draw off of that too. It's right. It feeds you.
Yeah, you do. You get a lot of energy because you talk back to the crowd a little bit, do a little crowd work, and talk. Because women know, you talk back and forth to the crowd because they all know they've had kids and or struggles with their husbands. They're driving them crazy, or their kids are driving them crazy. Oh God, I can't take it one more minute, and you get that positive feedback from the audience when they're rolling with you and they know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I can't take this one more minute, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
it's so much fun.
You feel the camaraderie with with the people out there in the crowd. And, and you're able to do that.
Yeah, that's the best. That's absolutely the best.
So, do you have any comedians that you like and that you admire and that you try to be like, and what kind of humor? Like I know the humor that you like and that you do. But is there any comedians that we know that you kind of pattern yourself after?
I don't try to pattern myself after anybody. I admire, of course. I admire. I've been told that I remind people of Joan Rivers, and I don't do that on purpose. I think it's just the way that I talk, and it's not on purpose.
Right.
I do admire her work, of course. I love Mike Birbiglia. I'm a big fan of his. The way he sets up a joke. That's I think he's hilarious.
Right.
Of course, Eddie Murphy. Of course, I'm old school.
Right.
I love it. there's so much that you can learn from all these comedians. George Carlin, loved him. Loved Robin Williams. Loved Steve Martin. Loved, I can't even. There's so many.
Yeah.
But I try not to pattern after them. I just think you can learn so much.
You do have that on stage. You do have that the Joan Rivers thing, but it's in your own way. I mean, that you have, because there's a dryness there. Yet it's not like one-liners. It's more of a situational type of humor.
Right. I tell like the situational story.
Right.
But I have the punch of the Joan Rivers. Right. Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly.
That's perfect though. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got the ease in the name. You've got you've got a brand there, Teena.
I have a brand.
You've got a brand. I've got a brand.
Put it on a T-shirt.
I've got a brand, Teena
Glitter.
Green. It's the Green Show. So we talked about a little bit about what you talk about. So when you have a funny thought, how do you get your comedy material? Like a lot of people, they'll write it down. Something will come to them. Some people make voice memos. This is my voice memo. I don't know what I'm pressing. If there's but people have, But do you have something that you do?
I do all of the above. I take voice memos on my phone constantly. I carry a notebook with me constantly. I try to keep a diary at night and write down things that have happened during the day
Right.
to remember them from. I do try to write a joke pretty much every day. Try to write something every single day that happens. I read the newspaper. I watch the news.
Wow.
I know it's crazy. I do a lot of reading. It doesn't necessarily come out in my set every single day. I try to write a new joke that I can add in to my set just to make that set longer, because that's always the goal. So that's what I do. I'm constantly, I have notebooks at home of stuff, like write this idea down and then expand on it, and how can we make that into a set. So there's a lot of ideas that I have constantly churning in my head.
How do you rehearse?
Sleep? What?
How do you sleep? Teena, how do you sleep with yourself?
Not well.
That comes with age.
Yeah, right?
What do you do to prepare? I mean, like a lot of comedians will. Do you like go over your set? Do you have like bullet points of your jokes, or is it like word for word? Or some people are like me. They're like anal about memorizing it, not word for word, but just going over it over. Or some people just I don't know. What do you do?
Well, depending. I have a set that I generally do. I'm working on new sets right now, so I'm kind of cut it back for the last couple of weeks. And depending on how much time I have, I know what new jokes I can put in, what jokes I need to pull out. Right. So there's that. And then I practice. I practice and time it out, and I practice at home. With the timer on and in front of the mirror and the delivery and pauses and all that. I know it's crazy, but yeah.
No, that's good.
But you have to practice it like every single day.
Do you ever your husband and your kids? Do you ever run jokes by them?
No, because most of the jokes are about them, and I'm pretty sure they would not.
Oh yes, they would.
Appreciate it. I don't know. I just I don't think they'd appreciate it.
So you don't get to run it by anybody before you don't. You prefer not to.
Maybe a friend. I have a couple of friends that I'll run it by. I might run an idea by my husband, like, what do you think about this idea? Right. But the kids, no. No.
There was more there. More there.
Well, my oldest daughter, I talk to her every single day, and she might like some of the ideas. I could probably tell her some of the ideas. My second daughter, she's pretty busy with college right now, so. My other son, of course, is autistic, and he's not going to understand them. Although he is funny, he can be very funny.
Right.
But he's cognitively impaired. And my youngest son, the 13-year-old, he does not realize yet that his destiny lies on stage. He has not come to that realization.
But
yet.
he is. Don't question it.
But it's a punchline. Like his bio is already written. Like you were born in Africa. You have a Muslim African name. You were raised in a Christian orphanage, and then you were adopted by white Jewish parents. Like seriously, that's your punchline bio. Like you were born to do comedy. Like how can you deny this?
If he just talks about it, it's going to be funny.
That's hilarious.
He's got a following right away.
Exactly. Like how you just
There's all kinds of stuff he can, which is what kind of feeds you. I mean, now here you are. You can talk about all these different avenues too.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. He's my youngest son is all my children actually are hilarious, but that the youngest one he is destined.
It's good too to talk about your family on stage too. I mean, because you can just talking real about your kids and your husband and stuff is funny, right?
It is. It's very funny. I just because you can't there's a new joke I'm probably going to do tonight, which is a true story that
you have a gig tonight.
What?
But you have a gig tonight.
I have a gig tonight, and it just happened the other day that again I got the weekly phone call about my youngest son's behavior at school. And and this is a true story. So the teacher was like, I had to eject him out of the class for his swearing and his behavior. And I said, I'm so sorry. But did you know that according to a recent Facebook article, that swearing can be a sign of genius. Perhaps you're not challenging him enough.
Perfect.
And shame on you. I actually said this.
You got to twist it around.
And she just said, oh, and this actually happened. And the teacher said to me on the phone, she said, oh, well, I read that Facebook article. And I don't think the problem is his intelligence. I think it's his mouth. And shame on you. And I said, oh, well,
I think you're right. Teena. They're not challenging them.
They're not challenging.
Stick to your guns.
I know. So clearly, it may have cost him a little more detention, but it made a semi-good joke. So I'm sure he'll forgive me someday. But
son, you're going to detention, but I'm going to get laughs on stage.
I'm going to get laughs on stage. That's how that works, right? See?
Do you do anything to prepare? Do you have any rituals or funny little habits to prepare, or that you do? You know what I mean? Some people will just sit and they'll just get in a zone. Some people will go out in the car and get high. I don't know who that is. I'm kidding. Yeah. Some people will have some drinks. Some people will just be talking. Some people, you apparently don't have any.
I have to kind of quiet myself for a minute.
Right.
Sometimes, I have to deep breathe. Sometimes I'll do a few dance steps just to kind of rev up my energy a little bit.
Sure.
But I like to just quiet myself a little bit before I go on stage. And I drink coffee. I don't like to drink alcohol before I go on stage because I'm already tired. I don't need to be more tired before I go on stage.
Yeah.
And I just try to quiet myself down and get into a Zen moment so that I don't lose myself to stage anxiety. I'm already neurotic. We watched Curb Your Enthusiasm the other day, and my youngest son came in the room and he goes, oh, I know why you like this show. I said, why is that? He goes, because you're like the main character here. He's like, you're as bad as he is. And I said, oh, well, that's nice of you to say that, but I'm clearly more neurotic than he is. I just,
That being Larry David?
Yeah, Larry David's character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm clearly much more neurotic than he is in real life. But thank you for noticing. It just
I was wondering about this. Do you travel? You travel a lot. So do you have any? I mean, while you're driving, do you go over your set, or do you basically?
Yeah, I practice my set while I'm driving in the car. So I'm sure that people passing me are like, "What is that woman? Is she possessed? Who is she talking to?"
Is she possessed?
She's by herself. I should probably get like a fake person,
you should,
like an inflatable to sit next to me to.
Yeah, then they won't look at you funny.
Yeah, they won't look at me funny with an inflatable person next to me at all.
Right. Talking to yourself in the car is normal these days anyway. So.
Apparently, But so I talk to I do my set in the car. I'm practicing in the car, and it's wasn't it Robin Williams that had that joke that talked about people who have the earbuds on and with the cell phones, and he said it looked like now the schizophrenics look like they have company or something like that, because something like that was a great joke. So that's what I look like in the car. So
Teena's neurotic and she's schizophrenic.
Listen, and just add it to the list. Just add it to the list.
Do you have any stories or obviously? For me, driving and traveling stories, or going to gigs, or even on stage or off stage. Have you ever tripped over the stage? I know one. I can tell one about you. I just thought of this.
Oh, which one?
Well, you were doing one of my shows, one of my venues, I forget, and I actually had a stage that had a crevice in the middle.
Oh.
And you were wearing the heels, and Teena fell into it. It was so funny. No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
yeah. Well, there's that.
It was not funny.
And then there was the time when I was on a stage that I didn't realize was quite small, and I stepped backwards and fell off the stage.
Oh,
and
no!
almost fell on my tuchus.
Oh my gosh.
That was hilarious.
Oh, that's even worse than mine.
Well, it was great. It was great. Listen, you know what? It's all part of this. But yeah, so I nearly fell off on my rear, and then the guy who was running the stage goes, "Oh, that happens to everybody at least once on the stage." I'm like, well, good to know now, because
right.
a little heads up would have been nice. So there's So
maybe you're just that kind of person, because I forgot to tell you about my bad stage at the time before the show.
yeah, I'm not naturally gifted athletically, and I am kind of a klutz. So that's which is why when I started this whole thing off, and I mentioned that I fell off the desk in high school while when I was standing up there doing the twists, and I did fall off and almost break my hip, which has still never been the same. It's only been a few short years since high school, just a few, and
it has been a few, only
a few, and fell completely on my hip.
Well, I think your set is hilarious on stage. I love your set. I think you're so funny, and you're just hilarious. But over and above that, you're nice, because not only are you a genuinely nice person, but you also bring treats for some people.
Yeah, well, I am a baker. I don't let that secret out. But I used to bake. When I was a single mom with my oldest daughter, I used to bake to earn extra money to support myself when I was in nursing school, and when I was a nurse as well, to supplement my income. I used to, because I worked afternoons, and I would get home and I'd be too wired to sleep, so I would bake for an hour or two and then bring the baked goods back to the hospital to sell.
Oh, you sell them at the hospital?
Yeah, so that's how I bribed my husband. That's how I literally did.
If you would have made the brownies like the funny brownies, you probably would have made a lot more.
I probably would have, yeah. But that's what I did. I would wait till my husband came into the nurses station, and then I would literally oh, look what just magically happened to appear. It was like a plate of cookies. I was terrible. I know. What can I say? But that's what I. It worked. It worked. What can I say? But yeah, that's what I did. I do bake. My kids.
Well, and you bake good too, because I've had some of your baked goods.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed them. I do a lot.
Yeah, I'm teaching my kids to bake. My youngest, all my kids can bake pretty well. It's
That could be a staple of yours on stage. You could like bake or bake for the crowd or something. There's something there. I don't know what.
Yeah, well, actually,
you've got the baking. You've got the funniness.
I actually thought about it. A cooking with comics show. I thought that would be. I thought that would be like a really fun thing to do. Like everybody has like you have to have wine while you're baking, and then you have to be careful when you're doing that with sharp instruments. Though I did that once. I was I almost bled out. But
you don't want to do that.
You want to do that. Like learn from me. Don't try this at home. And I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to do, and then.
So you're doing a lot of, wow, I'm just switching it because I love your baking, but you're doing a lot of, and we're running low on time, but you're doing a lot of traveling, like different venues. I think that's great. You're getting to know a lot of people, a lot of venues, and you've got like another one. So do you look to do new ones? I mean, you've done mine quite a bit, but I mean, I don't know where the question is here. It's just I think isn't it a good thing that you do? I mean, do you do that on purpose? That's the question. Do you go to all these places on purpose?
Yeah, I'm trying to really get out there, get people to notice me, so that obviously to get booked more, and just put it out there. And the more stage time you do, the better the act is, and the more jokes you can do, and just really up my game. That's my whole goal. And that's the whole thing, is the writing and the comedy.
We need to get a hold of Teena Green, everyone. Get a hold of her.
That's it.
So how can they? How do they get a hold of Teena Green? Facebook? Two E's, right?
2 E's, yep. And I'm trying to get a web page up. That's my next thing to do, web page. And I'm a little slow on that because technology is not my don't even say my age. And but I'm trying to get a web page, but Facebook is the best way.
Okay, Teena Green, comedian.
That's it.
And look her up. She's very, very funny. And if you are booking or run a show, look up Teena Green.
Look me up.
Look her up, because your strong point is just, I mean, like I said, the family, the whole thing, you're hilarious. We give a free issue of Flint Comics out to every guest on the show. Plus, it's free.
For me?
And I write,
It's free?
And I write for this too. So there you go. That's yours. You can have that.
I'm so thrilled and touched, and I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Wait till she wins an award. She'll just be all bubbly.
I will, and I'll remember this when I get my award. I'll say, I remember when I got this.
That's right.
This
That's
right
right.
here.
Hey, it's a good. It's and I write for it. So, and they sponsor the show. So I mean, they don't sponsor, but they're good, and they love comedy.
Hey, you know what? That's cool. Actually, you know what?
Your kids will love that.
My son is really into comics.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and I actually was too as a teenager.
Come to
as a kid.
the Comic Con this year.
Oh, my son would love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bring 'em. Well, folks, that's all the time we got for today. This has been another episode of Comedy on Tap for Teena Green. My name is Mark Bonto. Everybody have a very funny night. Good night, everyone.